Hello, this is Math Final Boss, and make sure you like and subscribe before I go to the question. This is an college entrance exam of India from called IIT Jee Advanced, and I was curious and have downloaded the PDF file, and I have found out a very interesting probability and plus math logic type problem, and I'll get to the solution in 1, 2, and 3. Let's get straight to the question. There are 190 persons who have symptom of fever, which it is contained of some of people who have only fever, plus both fever and cough, plus in the people who have all symptoms. And for the second equation, for 220 people who have symptom of cough, it is sum of people who have only cough plus fever and cough plus all symptoms. And for the third equation, for 330 persons who have symptom of fever or cough or both, it is consisted of people who have only fever plus only cough plus fever and cough plus all three symptoms. Now, if we add the first equation and the second equation and subtract the third equation, well, what we get is 80, which is this equals to F and C plus A dot S. And since we know F and C plus A dot C is 80, if you subtract through the first equation, we get the fact that the OF is 110. And it's the same logic. If we substitute 80 to the second equation, then the O dot C will be 220 minus 80, which will be 140. For 220 person who has symptoms of cough, it is sum of people who have only cough plus cough and breathing plus people who have all symptoms. And for the second equation, 220 persons who have symptom of breathing problem equals people who only had breathing problem, people who had both cough and breathing problem, plus all symptoms. For the last equation, for 300 persons who had symptoms of cough or breathing problem or both, it equals only cough plus only breathing plus cough and breathing plus all symptoms. Then, as the same logic, we add the first and two equation and subtract the last equation. Then it will become 90 equals cough and B plus all symptoms. And if we substitute the 90 back to the second equation here, then only breathing will have 130. Yeah. There are 190 persons who has symptom of fever, which this equals sum of only fever plus fever and breathing plus all symptoms. And for 220 people who have symptom of breathing problem, it is the sum of people who have only breathing plus fever and breathing plus all symptoms. For the third equation, 340 person who has symptom of fever or breathing problem or both. It is sum of people who have only fever plus only breathing plus both fever and breathing plus all symptoms. And lastly, as the same logic, if we add the first and two equation, subtract the last equation, we will get 70, which equals F and B plus all symptoms. We know there are 30 persons who have all three symptoms. We can get the number of people who have two symptoms each. So then F and C will have 50%. C and B will have 60%. F and B will have 40%. Then in order to get the probability of the person who has at most one symptom, we need to get the people who we need to subtract the total person to the people who have more than two or more symptoms, then which will be 900 minus 30 minus 50 minus 60 minus 40 over 900. Then this will be simplified as 720 over 900, and it can be more simplified to 8 over 10. Then the total answer will be 0.8.